From the sidelines to your ears, it's the Benchwarmers podcast where sports meets humor. I'm your host, Zach, and you're joined by my co host, Jordan.
What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing?
So, this is a brand new podcast. We're really excited to do this. It's just something fun for us. We're not going to get like, we're not hoping to get famous out of this. We're hoping to just be a nice listen. Um, and we're going to get into some debates. We'll talk about some sports news. We're also going to talk about some esports news too, which that can consist of like any tournaments that are going on, even TCG news, like Pokemon, Magic, whatever you're into. We're going to get into. We're going to get into it. Um, Jordan, you want to talk about yourself at all?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so a little bit about myself. I love sports. Zach had spoken about the esports thing, and that I'm not too familiar. I'm an example of this experiment that we're doing, and that is to uh, take a little bit of the sports world and sprinkle it into the esports world, and take a little bit of the esports world and sprinkle it into the sports world. We're going to try and merge everything together and make everybody happy all at once. I am an avid NFL fan. I'm an avid MLB and NBA fan. I love college football. The NHL, I like that as a little bit as well. Not I don't really have a diehard team. I kind of float around. Depends. I'm from Western New York here in Jamestown, so the Sabres are obviously up there as well. But I'm really excited about this, and I look forward to hearing what each and every one of you have to say and what you guys think and your opinions on the stuff that we talk about throughout the
Yeah,
day.
we're going to welcome all comments. It don't matter. If there's
Yeah,
something you want us to talk about, something you want us to cover, we will definitely cover it. Um, like he said about NHL, we'll get into it. And there's other sports that we'll get into, but it's not going to be as in depth. Soccer, we're not too in depth about soccer. If something big comes up, we'll definitely talk about it. Also with golf, it's the same thing. We'll get into it. It just won't be as in depth unless you really want us to. Um, we will talk about almost anything. A little
yeah.
bit about myself. I'm also an avid sports goer. I enjoy football, basketball, um, baseball. Go to a lot of Pirates games. That's I'm in northwestern PA, so it's a lot of Pirates, a lot of Steelers, and a lot of Penguins.
Oh
And
yeah.
I am neither of them. I'm a Pirates fan. I am not nowhere near a Steelers fan. I am a Cowboys fan. You all can hate me now. It don't matter to me. Um, I will take it, and I'm a pretty good sport about it. So Jordan, talking about sports and whatnot, why don't we get into something?
Yeah,
I mean, this is going to be a little bit of a short cast just because it's our first one.
absolutely.
Um, and we just kind of wanted to get the feel of what everybody's going to get from us.
Yeah, and and
Um,
and one more quick thing too. Going back to the comments thing. You guys don't have to bite your tongue. That whole
no,
cancel culture thing does not exist on this channel.
it does not. And if you have virgin ears, I should say, we do swear a lot.
Oh yeah, oh
um,
yeah. Do not let your. I mean, I would pay attention to your kids if they watch this. We welcome all
mm-hmm,
viewers,
yep.
but I don't have any kids myself. I'm an uncle, and I don't think I would say the kind of things that I would
No,
on this
I don't have
podcast
any
around my
kids as
son.
well. Me and the wife don't have any, and we really don't want any right now. So,
Yeah. So yeah, we welcome all kinds of comments, and you're not gonna hurt my feelings, and I know you're not gonna hurt Zach's feelings. We have pretty thick skin on that.
hmm
So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's go into the Monday Night Raw aspect of this. We got a lot of action on Raw so far. Bianca Belair and Naomi versus Liv Morgan and Raquel. This is a good storyline that I like because it leads into what had happened to Jade Cargill. So everybody and their mother on the internet knows who actually did it, and that's Naomi. But the way
Yep.
that the story is progressing, it's we're at that. I don't know if you could say that we're in the mid, the like the middle of this, because right now the spotlight is on Liv and Raquel, and everybody's thinking that they're doing it, and storyline wise that they did it to Jade. And I'm expecting this big swerve that leads into Mania with
Oh,
between
definitely.
Jade Cargill and Naomi.
Yeah, definitely. I enjoy the storylines that they're going with now. Triple H is doing a great job. Uh, everything. I like the additions of the the women's intercontinental and United States championships as well. Those stories are getting there. Um, and the story with Naomi and Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, I agree with you completely. That's that's going to be a big thing come Mania time.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And
You
well, so going back to the Bianca Belair thing, I expect them to drop the women's tag titles coming up here. Maybe it'd be at Elimination Chamber. Maybe they work something in there. Um,
Oh,
I
they're
just
definitely going to drop it to Liv and Raquel. I think,
yeah, I just don't.
especially with the storyline and how they're
Yeah,
going.
yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. I don't think that I don't. It wouldn't make sense, I should say, to go this route with both the belts. I mean, you could because technically it's Naomi's not a tag team champion. It's Jade Cargill.
Right, she's just holding it for her.
Yeah. So I mean, you could go there with the belts, but this storyline doesn't need any of that.
No, no. Let's get your take on the Elimination Chamber. That's the next pay per view that's going to be coming up.
Yep.
What do you think of the participants? I can tell you that I'm not a fan of Logan Paul being in it. I enjoy Logan Paul as an entertainer. He's a great wrestling entertainer.
Yeah.
I don't like him in the picture to main event WrestleMania. Maybe that's just my opinion.
Yeah. I think he's still too green. I think that yeah, like you said, dude, he has a lot of talent, but I just don't think that that talent that he has between the boxing and the athleticism that he has, I don't think that he's ready to walk that walk. I mean, if you
No.
look at just the elimination chamber itself, think of all the talent that's in there.
Hmm.
John Cena. I mean,
Which I don't really like how he just declared himself into the Elimination Chamber. I feel like he should have won a match.
I
I,
think that they're working a heel angle here.
oh yeah, they're definitely working a heel angle, but just the way he had that interview.
Yeah,
I just wish they would have. I wish he would have won a match. That's all.
and
Like everybody else had to.
I thought that that was the route that they were going to take when he declared, "Yeah, I'm going to be in the elimination chamber." I assumed, okay, we're going to get a John Cena match on Friday,
Right.
on Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown to declare himself. To earn that because that's been Cena's thing from the jump.
Yep.
Loyalty, hustle, respect. Um, all of that, it just goes against everything that Cena has built. That's why I think that we're gonna get a heel turn Cena, but what kind of heel are we gonna get? Because he's definitely not gonna be able to do the stuff he did in 2002.
No, definitely not. Maybe they do. I mean, they could bring back the Doctor.
You think that they
They
could?
definitely could. They definitely could, as long as he kind of dialed it back a little bit. I
Right.
mean, you can. Uh, there's other wrestlers that have had that kind of persona and they've made it work. I think now that they're on Netflix, I think that's another big thing that they
Yeah.
could do the Doctor Thugonomics. But I mean, maybe he's a little too old for that to do the Doctor. I don't know. I
I
think
think he is.
yeah, they're definitely a heel turn. Don't know how they're gonna do it, but it's definitely a heel turn. What do you think of the other participants? CM Punk, Seth.
Uh, well, see, with Seth Rollins, for me, dude, it feels like how do I describe it without being a dick, dude? I love Seth Rollins. I love him, and I love all the work he's done. From the Heist of the Century to his work with Bray Wyatt. I mean, I don't like that Hell in a Cell match that he did. I think that the Red Hell in a Cell ruin that for him, but that's neither here nor there. Seth Rollins is a stud of an athlete and a stud of a wrestler.
Oh, he is.
I don't know why he's here. Why is he here? We know already where he's gonna go. Him and Roman are
I
gonna be in this thing with Punk. So what are we doing here? The same thing with Logan. We already know Logan's not gonna be anywhere near it. The plan is
I
with Cena.
think I think Seth Rollins is also going to turn heel. He's kind of a heel now, but I think he's going to be full blown heel now.
Oh yeah.
And I see that turning, and then I also see a Drew McIntyre face switch as well
And can
eventually.
I say this? This Drew McIntyre thing is getting on my nerves, man.
I like Drew.
Me and you both. And when he won that title at that Mania with, I can't remember if it was which one it
That was
was.
the Silent Mania. That was in
Yeah,
2021 or whatever it was,
yeah. I
2020.
thought that they robbed him beyond belief, dude. That
And
guy
then
deserved it all. Yeah,
last year, Damian Priest should have. I don't know. I didn't like him as Money in the Bank, and I didn't like how they cashed it in on him.
yeah.
They should have gave McIntyre a better shot.
And I know that I've said this to you many times about building stars in that Mania. If you're gonna build Damian Priest up to be this, big guy, big main event star, I understand why you're doing it against Drew McIntyre because he's Drew McIntyre.
Yep.
But why not wait until the Monday after? I mean, Jey Uso has had a longer title run. Whether
Oh
I
yeah.
know it's just the Intercontinental title, but he still had a longer run than Drew
Right.
McIntyre did at WrestleMania.
Right.
And now Drew
Oh, he definitely
McIntyre
did.
has to live with that little comedy, skit that he did at WrestleMania because that's what I think it was. It was just
Yep.
I pulled the wool over your eyes, and now you're screwed out of a title.
Yep.
And I get that it prolonged the story because I went to the Cleveland SummerSlam and watched that story, unfold. That they could have done a lot. I mean, if the plan before Mania was to have CM Punk go and fight for that belt, why not do it at SummerSlam? Why not carry Drew over until SummerSlam with that world belt and have
I
him drop it to Punk at Mania? I mean, at
yeah. I mean,
SummerSlam.
that would have made sense. I really don't know why they do what they do with Drew McIntyre, but I do know for sure. I think we can already tell who's going to win the Chamber. It's either going to be Punk or Cena, and I see Cena doing it. And to be honest, because of the WrestleMania thing,
Yeah.
and it's his last ride and all this other stuff. So it's either one of them two. If somebody else wins it, I'll be surprised. That'll be a huge surprise.
And Logan Paul, I know we touched on him before. Logan Paul is a phenomenal athlete. Um, I love the work that he does in the ring, even though like some of it is like over the top, and you could tell
Right.
like he's spitting and stuttering. I think that he's still green. He's got a lot of work to do. This could be a big thing for him. I just don't see it being a big thing for him. He's gonna have a few high spots,
Yep.
but
I,
nothing special. He's not taking home
I tell you what,
anything.
when he had the United States Championship, it was okay.
I actually enjoyed that run.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad run.
Especially, I was a bigger fan of that run towards the end,
Hmm.
like the month, the ending month of that run because of the work that him and LA Knight did. Those two worked
Right.
so good together. From the
They
segment
definitely
that they
were.
did in Logan's house with LA Knight in the pool and so on and so forth. Those two have excellent chemistry, and that just goes to show that Logan Paul, if he's paired with the right counterpart, the right dance partner, he can go. He can
Yep.
go. But
Definitely.
in
And
the
let's talk about, you bring up LA Knight. Let's talk about LA Knight and how he's getting snubbed too. I think he should be in the chamber.
oh yeah,
Most definitely. Most
yeah.
definitely.
Who did he
He
lose
should
to?
be getting a main titles run.
Who did he lose to in that qualifying match? Do you remember?
Hmm. Yeah, who did he lose
Was it
to?
Drew
It's got to
McIntyre?
be no, it's got to be Priest cuz
Yeah,
Drew's
yeah.
on Raw.
No, 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 no. Drew got traded to
Oh,
SmackDown.
did he?
Yeah,
Did
yep.
he? Well, then I think he lost to Damian Priest. I could be wrong,
Yeah,
but I'm pretty
I
sure he
can't
did.
remember because those two, LA Knight and Drew McIntyre, since the Royal Rumble, they've had this back and forth thing in real life and on screen. And one of those, I'm remembering one of those was Drew McIntyre's in the ring. LA Knight comes out and then finishes his promo by saying, "Oh, I forgot to get in my stuff." referring to the Royal Rumble where Drew walked out and said, "Oh well, some guys have to get their stuff in," as he
Yep.
was throwing things around in the back or whatever. Um, yeah, like you, I don't remember how that qualifying match went,
No.
but I feel like LA Knight was snubbed in that
Oh,
chamber. Not
definitely.
only in
He
that chamber, but the way he lost that United States belt. We don't need another Shinsuke Nakamura run. We need
no.
Shinsuke to go to the top. We
Yep.
need him to. He's a main event guy. We wanted Shinsuke to be a main event guy for some time. Remember that WrestleMania with Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles? That was supposed
Yep.
to be this big dream match, and I didn't like it.
Nothing.
I didn't
Crickets.
like it at all. Yeah.
Vince was still in control then
Oh
too.
yeah. Yeah. And
Um,
what else is there?
you
What
want to
else
talk
is
about
there?
the women's? The
Yeah,
women.
yeah, yeah. Let's do
So
women's. I remember.
the women's chamber, you got Bailey, Naomi, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss with her big return. Um, and then you also got Raquel, I believe,
Yeah.
or no, Perez.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Roxanne Perez. Yeah.
yeah, Roxanne Perez is the final entrant. It's definitely not going to be Naomi or Bianca because again, we talked about that at the beginning. They got a storyline going on. They're definitely not winning. Bailey had a run not too long ago. I don't see her winning. It's going to be Liv or uh, I just said her name. I don't know why. It's not
Oh,
Perez.
Raquel.
No.
Rock.
Why am I like blanking here? Alexa Bliss.
Oh.
Yeah, it's gonna be Liv or Alexa that wins it, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. It has to be. It has to be. Well.
With Alexa's big return and the whole fiend thing, and there's some speculation that she's gonna be bringing out a new fiend, and that she's gonna
Oh,
run
okay.
The Wyatt Six.
Yeah. Yeah. I see where you're going with this, and I
So
actually like
and then
that.
the storyline with Liv Morgan um and Mommy.
Yeah.
You know, so there's two different ways you can go with this. And Roxanne Perez, I think they just kind of threw her in there just because I don't think you could have Raquel and Liv. You know, you couldn't have two tag teams in the
Yeah. And,
elimination
and
chamber.
Liv's character right now is I can't get the job done on my own. I need
Right.
her. So I understand why they put both of them in there, but honestly, dude, a part of me feels like this is just a waste of a spot because we know damn well Raquel isn't winning. We know damn well, that she's not going to go on to face
Oh, you
Bailey.
mean Roxanne Perez?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Not Raquel.
yeah. Not Raquel. Roxanne Perez. And
Yep.
you're kind of like burying her before she gets in. By the way, I'm a Roxanne Perez fan. I followed her when her latest NXT Women's Championship run. She was there for and running that show for a long time, dude, a
Yep.
very long time. So her coming up to entering the chamber, yes, I like. But knowing damn well that she ain't gonna be the one, she's gonna get beat by either uh, Lexa Bliss or somebody else, dude. I just don't. I'd rather see her work her way up. Just whatever happened to starting from the bottom, working your way to the mid card, and then going to, you know what I'm saying?
I think they're just trying to give her some exposure, just like Logan Paul.
Yeah,
I don't think Logan's ever going to be talked about in
I guess
the.
you're right. I'm thinking it from a point of view of everybody should watch NXT. It's on cable, but I guess nobody really, not
I can
everybody, I
tell you,
should say.
I don't watch much NXT,
Yeah, that's
mostly
what I'm
because
getting
I don't
at.
have cable anymore.
Right,
I stream everything, you know.
you and
Um,
everybody else. That's
yep.
taking over.
But I believe it's more exposure for her because she'll probably get pushed. She's definitely going to get a push
Oh yeah,
eventually once all these storylines kind of come together and then the same thing with Logan Paul. If he is serious about being here, I could see him in the talks to be a top player in WWE and winning a world title. I just don't see it now because he's got a lot of things in the fire right now. I
yeah,
I thought I seen that he has a boxing match with his brother here
yep.
soon. So once he's 100% all in, I think maybe they give him that push, but just not right now. And that's the same thing with Roxanne. Just more exposure, just to show what she can do, and then I think eventually she'll get a push.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So Alexa Bliss taking this home. That's our pick.
I think so.
I
Mo-
agree with you.
I think the Liv and Rhea Ripley story is kind of ran its course.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I feel like they're gonna beat a dead horse though, and that's what it's gonna be. I'd like Alexa Bliss to win it just because her big return and everything with the Wyatt Six and
Yeah.
everything else, you know.
Because you could
So
go multiple ways with this. You could
hmm
have Alexa win this belt, and then like because on SmackDown the Wyatts ain't there. People are actually getting upset because we haven't seen anything from the
nope.
Wyatts, and then their bullshit thing on Raw that happened. You know, they were pretty much buried. So this is
Yep.
them coming, a rebrand or, or what have you. You could go Wyatt's, take that stuff away from Alexa Bliss, the biggest moment of her career, and here come the Wyatts, and they just
Yep.
distract Alexa Bliss, kind of like I can't remember which WrestleMania it was, but the WrestleMania where Randy Orton versus the Fiend, where Alexa comes out of that Jack in the Box and
Yep.
distracts the
I
Fiend.
remember. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see something like that happening, and the people would eat it up.
Oh, definitely.
You know,
Definitely.
you could go many ways with that storyline, or you could just have her, win the belt and then take it back to the Wyatts, and then that's how
That's what
you
I
get the
think is
Wyatt
going to
brand.
happen. I think that's what's going to happen. If Alexa Bliss wins, she takes it back to the Wyatts, and then they do the whole thing that every other faction's doing, which is kind of getting old to me. You know, the faction has a big title, and then they get the tag teams, and
Yeah,
I'm kind of getting tired of that.
me
You
too.
know, because
You don't need a title to tell a good story.
no, and you don't need all of it either.
Yeah,
You know, I I didn't like how they had Damian Priest and they had Rhea Ripley. They had the two main titles on Raw, and then they also had the tag team titles.
yeah.
So I just don't like factions having all the gold.
I don't either, and I think that's what Triple H is doing is
Mm-hmm.
trying to make every faction in the WWE Evolution. Because remember, that's what Evolution did.
Yep.
World Heavyweight Title, Intercontinental Title, World Tag
But
Team
back then
Titles.
that was different. Back then it
Well,
was
yeah,
different.
because we haven't, we weren't seeing that kind of stuff as kids. We weren't seeing that kind of stuff on a daily basis. But
No.
now, with Triple H in charge, it seems like you were saying, Rhea Ripley in the Judgment Day, Damian Priest, Dominic. Remember, Dominic Mysterio actually went down to NXT and won the North American title
Yes, he did.
while he was in the Judgment Day, and then Finn and JD um, winning the Raw Tag Team titles. That stuff is just it's played out, dude. We don't need all these titles now. For the if you
Real
want,
quick though, you mentioned JD McDonough. I just want to shout out how much of a tough ass he is. I mean that
oh yeah,
moonsault that he did
you're talking
and
about the
hit
Monday
the
Night Raw, right?
yeah, and
Yeah,
hit the freaking announcer's table and then finish the match with a punctured lung and broken ribs.
yeah, and if you didn't
Now
know any
that's
of
a
that, you
that's a
wouldn't even know.
no, that's a stud of a man. I
Yeah,
mean, to be able to do that
and ain't he?
is
I don't. Isn't that the one that is Fit Finley's son,
he might be. I'm
or is
not
it
really
the other
sure.
one? I'm not sure. But one of those guys is Finley's son. Like
Oh,
the shillelagh with Hornswoggle.
oh, that could have been.
Yeah,
Oh,
I can't remember. I mean, don't come after me for it, but correct me if I'm wrong, dude. I think that is.
Well, people in the comments, leave a
Oh
comment
yeah,
and
oh
let
yeah.
us know if we're wrong
You'll
or
get
not.
some of them.
But but
Hmm.
anyway, we can go back to what you did, what you wanted to go on
Oh
to next. I just wanted to shout out
oh yeah.
JD
No,
McDonough.
no. Well, while we're at it, let's talk about that really quick. JD McDonough is a stud. So, with that being said, you know what this guy can do. Are we going to take him out of the Judgment Day and create that split angle here, and then have him go one way? You could easily make JD McDonough into the next big Sami Zayn, who is a mid card king
Yep.
right now. You know?
You definitely could. I don't know how what they do with him though, because he didn't really have anything before the Judgment Day.
Oh no, I'm saying like create an angle off of this here, like you know what I'm saying? Like have him come out, cut a promo on Raw, starting off with a few Judgment Day members in the ring, and then telling them, "Hey, this is what I did for this, and this is what I'm pulling in for this faction. None of you
Uh
guys have done anything."
I see. I kind of see the Judgment Day going to be breaking up here soon,
Yep.
mostly because of how Finn's been acting.
Yeah, and it's starting to become like a comedy thing. I mean, look at
Yeah,
the thing
and
between Raquel Rodriguez and Carlito.
yeah, I didn't really understand the whole bringing in Carlito. Carlito did fine with the LWO.
Yeah, yeah, I would have
Like,
left him there.
why not keep him with the LWO?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd like to see Carlito do more work though, but he was just on a podcast saying he can't do a lot of stuff anymore like he used to.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So,
He's getting up there in age.
so like I don't know. I think he's just a comedy act, kind of like our truth, but our truth is the truth. I mean, he
You cannot get any greater than in truth.
no, no, and when
And listen,
he
I'll come on this podcast right now and tell you that our truth should be holding that gold in the air on WrestleMania 41 Night 2
yeah,
versus Cody Rhodes.
right, yeah, right,
Dude, I would mark the fuck out if I see our truth come down with that briefcase and say, cashing in on you, Rhodes.
yeah, right. Well, little Jimmy almost got a win on Friday. I see, huh?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he almost got a win.
dude, he's getting up there. Speaking of that, what do you think of the Usos? Both Jay and Jimmy.
Well, I think they are kind of. I don't know what they're doing with Jimmy. I don't really understand Big Jim.
Yeah,
I mean, he's still in the bloodline. That story's getting beat like a dead horse.
yeah, and they're just not going
Um,
nowhere. Where's Reigns at? We haven't seen Reigns in weeks.
can I tell you something? I
Huh.
don't give a fuck where he is. I
You're one of
can't,
the few.
man. I didn't mind his run, but fuck, it was just constantly.
And
I
man,
was
they
getting
did it with so little.
tired. I was getting tired of seeing the bloodline every time he defended the title. Like he couldn't do it on his own for 3 years, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they went too long with that. Um, I like Roman Reigns. I'm getting tired of it,
Yeah,
to be
no, I
honest. And
agree.
I'm waiting for Paul Heyman to fuck him over. Yeah.
Speaking of that, dude, we can get into that because that ties in with this chamber. What is
Oh,
that favor that Paul Heyman owes CM Punk?
that I don't know.
Take a wild
I
guess.
I have a
What's your
feeling.
first guess? What comes to
I have
mind
a
first?
feeling. So with Roman not being in the elimination chamber, right?
Right.
And he doesn't have another spot for another title opportunity. Money in the Bank comes up here soon too, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I believe so.
I
Let me just
think
double check that. But go ahead, continue. I'll look it.
I think he gets a spot in Money in the Bank, right?
Hmm.
He wins the Money in the Bank. He cashes in, either WrestleMania night or, what have you.
Oh no, Money in the Bank already happened.
Did it?
Yeah,
Who won?
Tiffany Stratton.
Oh yeah, Tiffany Stratton
I
and who
forgot
was
all
the other
about
one?
that. They should,
Who was the
but they wasted that spot. Remember, it was fuck, who was it?
Oh,
It was,
that's
I
right. It
think,
was Tiffany Stratton. I forgot that happened.
yeah. I forgot that it happened too because I was so upset that um, fuck, who was it that won the men's? I think it was Drew McIntyre. Yeah, it was Drew McIntyre
Oh
won,
yeah,
and
they
I was
did
very
waste that.
upset. Going back to snubbing him, they snubbed him 3 times in a
Yeah,
matter of
that's right. They
one
did
year,
waste
dude.
that. I forgot about that. But anyway, okay, so there's speculation that it's going to be a triple threat match for Cody's title.
Yeah.
It's going to be The Rock, Roman,
What's your
and
thoughts on that? What's your thoughts on good old Dwayne coming in and pulling and pushing his muscle around like that, dude?
it is what it is. It's The
I
Rock.
think that
The
you're
Rock's going to do The Rock things. Um,
well. My thing is like none of that makes sense. Like I was looking at the promo after you and I had got off the phone the other night on Friday, and I rewatched that because I didn't understand it. In the first, he's sitting there and he's spewing off about a whole bunch of different things, and it's like, well,
I didn't
brother,
get a
what the
chance
hell?
to watch it.
When you do watch it, you understand. It's like, brother, what are you doing? What's the point of this? You
I don't.
come, you,
I just think it's an angle to get Roman in on the title opportunity, and I think what's going to happen. Back to my analogy on CM Punk and uh, Paul Heyman, it's going to be a triple threat match. I think we all know that by this point. It's going to be The Rock, Roman Reigns, and Cody Rhodes.
Hmm.
I think Roman wins. I think Roman takes a title, right?
Yeah.
And then CM Punk challenges Roman Reigns for the title. And that's where Paul Heyman screws him over. That's where Paul
Oh,
Heyman
okay.
screws over Roman Reigns.
I see. So you're
I think
saying he
Roman
leads
gets the
into
title.
WrestleMania Backlash?
Yes.
Okay.
And it either leads in the backlash or somewhere later. But that's where, in my opinion, Paul Heyman screws over Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't
You
know
know,
how he's going to do it, but I think that's what's going to happen.
I shouldn't say I necessarily agree. I like that idea, and I could see them going that way. You know, Paul
Yeah,
Heyman is a
a
genius.
and then you start a feud with Cody and CM Punk
Yeah, yeah,
because
you
that
do.
brings back stuff from AEW also.
It does, and it ties into the stuff that Cody was saying. I mean, not Cody, but CM Punk was saying to Cody on a Raw a few months back of how he was. Remember, because I don't know if you've seen it, but
I think I did.
he was out there on the mic, and he was telling Cody like about Cody's friends, because that was when he was about to fight Kevin Owens in that ladder
Yep.
match at the Rumble.
Yeah, I remember watching that.
CM Punk was dropping a lot of Easter eggs on him coming for that belt.
Yep.
And do I
Yeah,
want?
so
I'm a big CM Punk fan, but I don't want him. I don't want him anywhere near that freaking title. And I get it, dude wants to make a shit ton of money,
I don't
but
think
if
he
you care
holds it
about the
long.
no, no, and that's the point. Like I can't stress this enough. We want new stars to be built. How are we
Yep.
supposed to get behind new stars if you're just picking them up and dropping them in a main
Yep.
title
I
shot?
think I think if CM Punk gets the belt, it's going to be a feud between him and Cody for a little bit. Cody gets it back, but he's not going to have it long either. I
What's
want
Cody
them.
doing? What can he do, Cody?
I want champions to hold it for a couple months, maybe, you know, 5, 6 months, and then drop it. I don't like these long title reigns anymore
No.
because they beat that to the ground with Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
You know,
And before
and
that, 465 days with CM Punk.
it's, yeah, the only long title reign I liked was Gunther's with the
IC
Intercontinental
title,
title.
yeah, because dude, it wasn't the main one, and it
Hmm.
wasn't, it was just right. It felt
Yep.
right.
And honestly, if they snub Gunther and let Jay win, that's going to be I no.
Yeah,
I'm
so
a
let's
big
wait, wait, so
Gunther
let's get into
fan.
that
I'm a
before we
big
go.
Gunther fan.
Yeah, oh yeah, I know. Let's get into that, and we'll finish with Raw before we get off here. Um, Jey Uso winning the Rumble.
I didn't like it.
I
I
didn't.
understand it,
Yeah,
but I didn't like it
I
because
didn't
he
either.
has he has a lot of hype right now.
Yeah.
But in the same token, look at LA Knight. He
Hmm.
has ton of hype,
Oh
and they
yeah.
never gave him this kind of push.
Way more. I'll say it now. Jey Uso doesn't have nearly as much hype as LA Knight.
Hmm. I believe that. I believe that. I like I said, I understand it. I don't like it. You know, John Cena is going to get a title shot eventually. Why not just give him the Rumble?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and
Everything that
and
Cena
and
has
let
done
him
for
go
that
after
company.
Cody.
After
I think they
everything.
could have. Yeah, I think they could have did a lot of things different, like what they're doing with Cody Rhodes and The Rock and John Cena and all this other stuff. Also, uh, if going back to the triple threat thing, if they don't do Roman, well, because this is a fight for Cody's title,
Yeah.
right? The Elimination Chamber. John Cena wins, and then it turns into it turns into that kind of triple threat too. Either John Cena is going to be in the triple threat, or it's going to be Roman Reigns. I
So
don't know
you,
how they're going to do it, but
so do you think it's gonna be Cena, The Rock, and
and
Rhodes?
Cody, yes,
I like that.
that
It
you
could
know,
tie back.
I just kind of go back into, I just kind of like backtracked myself a little bit, but because I completely forgot about what the chamber's for, dumbass. But um, it's definitely going to be a triple threat.
Hmm.
somehow, or they could even do a fatal four way. I don't know how they do it, but they could do it. Um, it's and then Cena. I don't. If it's Cena, I don't see him winning the title at WrestleMania just because it's The Rock and Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know where to go with that.
It's so confusing, dude. It is. It's like, can we not just have uh 1v1 at WrestleMania for the belt? I mean,
Right.
that's unless you're
Like
gonna
we're
have a
having
triple
with
threat that makes sense.
Gunther and Jay.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
again, if Gunther drops the title to Jay, I'm gonna be real upset
You and me both. You
because
and me both.
Gunther's doing a great job as world heavyweight champ. I
I
think he
just
did a
don't
better
see it.
job than
Like
Damian Priest.
the way I'm looking at it, dude, is honestly in more of a realistic sense. Is like, okay, because like I've told you before, I followed Gunther all the way from back from NXT UK. This dude was dominating people, and at that
Hmm.
same time, you had Pete Dunne. You had Gunther and you had Pete Dunne, and they created a banger of a match, and not even Pete Dunne could withstand Gunther. So how do you
Right.
go from that Gunther to this over 600 days of Intercontinental Champion Gunther to Gunther versus Jey Uso? And we're supposed to
Which
forget
they already
about
did at
Jey.
Saturday Night Main Event.
Yeah, and look what happened.
Hmm.
And then he's going on camera, oh, I could beat him. I could beat him. No, no, you
No,
can't, dude.
no,
No, you
no.
can't.
I
Gunther is
don't.
on a different level. Gunther was supposed to be dude. He was supposed to be this big like superstar, and all we're getting out of him now is a guy that loses to Sami Zayn on the biggest stage of them all. And
Right.
that's no shot at Sami Zayn because I love him. But then we go from that to Jey Uso, and again, dude, I said that to you, one of the greatest tag team performers of all time. And I know
Oh
that's the
yeah, definitely.
storyline, dude. Of oh, you're just a tag team guy, but that's just it, dude. You are just a tag team guy.
Yep. I think they should have gave him the IC or the United States title.
Yeah, and that IC title run that he
I could
got
see
was
that. I could see
that was
that.
a waste. You ruined Braun Breaker
Yep.
by dropping him the belt to Jey Uso, but then turn around the following week and have Jey Uso drop it to Braun
Right.
Breaker again. What is
Yeah,
going on here?
I think if they were gonna if they gave Jay the IC title, they should have did it before Braun got it,
Yeah, and then
and
have
then
him
have
lose it.
Braun beat him.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely. That's the way to go.
Um.
They're destroying these guys.
The
That's what
only
they
re-
are.
the only reason I could see that Jay wins the world heavyweight title is if they're going to do something with Imperium because you don't really hear anything about that anymore.
Right.
With Gunther and who's this other guy?
Ludwig.
Yeah, Ludwig.
Ludwig is actually they teased a little bit of a split between Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser. I can't remember if it was a month ago or 2 months ago, but Gunther pretty much told him, "You better start carrying your own weight around here. We need you to,
Yep. Well,
get
look
this
what they did
IC
with
belt."
Giovanni Vinci.
Yeah, look what happened to him, dude. Like this
Yeah,
dude's a
he's
comedy
released.
act now.
He's released.
Before, did you see the stuff
Yeah,
before where he was
yeah.
taking off his clothes? Like they buried him,
Hmm.
and in my opinion, dude, if they really go through with this and they have Gunther lose, they're gonna bury Gunther too.
I don't know if they bury him because
On
he's
at
a
WrestleMania,
yeah maybe,
I
but
mean, look at the match last year, but Jay and Jimmy, that was awful.
no, it wasn't that great. You're right. I don't think they bury Gunther though if he loses. He's too much of a big talent, big name right now.
What do you? I guess I meant like, okay, so what I mean is, by I'm not talking about like he's done. If you on the biggest stage of them all, you have Gunther drop that belt to Jey Uso. Where do you go from there?
Ah,
Because it's already been proven in storyline that Jey Uso is better than Gunther enough to beat him on the biggest stage of them all.
yeah. I honestly don't know where you go with that. I mean, I feel like the Jay and Gunther, uh, you know, back and forth thing that's going on is going to end at WrestleMania. I just don't know which way, and I hope it's on Gunther's way, and then they can move on. And maybe they do something where Imperium completely disbands and Ludwig goes after Gunther. Maybe they do something like that,
You could, you could,
Yeah.
but it should all of it should result in Gunther going back to the top.
Hmm.
You
Oh, it
you
definitely
he
should.
can't go any other way.
No, I think I I'd like to see Triple H just do the right thing and let Gunther win.
Yeah.
Uh,
Because then you could go anywhere with Jey Uso. You could send him back to the tag team division. You could send him back to the mid card division. Everything. I mean, dude, we've already
I
seen
honestly think
this
that
with
Jay
him
and
and
Jimmy
Roman.
were tired of the tag team thing. That's why they did this.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I agree. But then
I think send them to
Jimmy is doing
SmackDown,
nothing.
send them to SmackDown, and let those two go after the US title
Yeah.
because
And
Braun's got
Frank
the IC
Storm
title
in
right
there.
now. Yep, definitely. Um, we're about out of time, huh?
Yeah, but real quick, we'll go over the lineup for Raw, and then we'll get up out of here. So we already
Okay.
talked about the Bianca Belair and Naomi thing. They go against Liv Morgan and Raquel for the women's tag team titles tonight. And then you got an Intercontinental Championship match between Lyra Valkyria, who is my favorite, versus Dakota Kai. I also love Dakota here. And then you got a segment between the Raw Elimination Chamber participants. And then this one should be really good, dude. Really good.
I already know Penta, Ludwig, and Pete Dunne.
Yep, this one is gonna be.
Wh-
I don't understand why this
You know,
isn't
we're
a main event.
what would you? Okay, I know we're getting ready to be
Yeah,
done
yeah.
here, but what would you think about Pete Dunne? Like, if they don't disband Imperium, what do you think about Ludwig recruiting Pete Dunne into Imperium?
I could see that happening because Pete Dunne at this moment, he's going back and forth between Sheamus and Braun Breaker and everybody else who decides to call him Butch. So
Yep.
it's to me, dude. It looks like they have no direction for him. Send him in there. Send him
Yeah,
in there.
I thought
It
it was
makes
going to be
chemistry.
I thought it was going to be Dragonov or whatever his name is. That was going to be Dragoff or whatever his name is. That came up from NXT.
Yeah,
I thought he was going to go into Imperium. To be honest,
yeah, yeah. I mean, I
it
could
would
see
make
it. Then he got
sense.
hurt though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then also, I think Penta to be. I love Penta.
I do too. I think
They
the
should
guy's a
have put
stud.
him in the chamber.
They should have. I think it would have been a lot better than he.
Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, put Penta in Logan Paul's place.
I
I
mean,
get they had to have like 3 and 3, Raw, SmackDown, whatever.
right, but
But
I mean, if this is the way we're gonna go, and we're just gonna throw anybody in there like Logan Paul, why not take a shot on Penta? There's no
yep,
direction with this chamber other than Cena.
yep. So you said that Rhea Ripley's got a message for Io Sky. That's another thing
Yep,
that's going to
yep.
be coming up. The whole New Day thing
I think that
with
leads into Mania, and it's gonna be the Big E versus the two of them.
yeah, but Big E hasn't been on.
No, but with this tease of everything that was going on in the beginning with the New Day and Big E, I could really see Big E coming in for one last match, and who better to do it with, and who honestly it's going to be probably the safest way for him with that neck injury, than his brothers in the New Day. I could see
Right.
that, and I'd actually be here for it. I know a lot of people and their takes are very negative about the whole situation. Um, if I'm not mistaken, it's in paper, it's in ink that the New Day could never disband. I'm not too sure on that, and I ain't gonna tell you a source on that, a name, but I could see the New Day um, getting back together after WrestleMania. I say
They
that they
could.
squash that beef at Mania, and then it leads on to "Don't You Dare Be Sour,"
Yeah, they definitely could.
and then
And
after
I'd
that,
and I'd like to see that happen. But and then after that, you got Gunther,
yeah,
who's going to be
and
calling out Jay.
I think that this is gonna end the same way every other WWE promo segment between two people who are about to have a match at WrestleMania end.
Yep,
Somebody's
it's
going
just
through
going
a
to be a
table.
brawl. Yep.
Yep.
So with that, I mean, I know we talked about a lot about WWE today on the
Hmm.
cast. Next cast, we will definitely get into some other things. Other sports news, maybe even some esports news. Who knows? I know there was a big Magic Con this past weekend, so maybe we'll talk about that some. Um, to add in a little bit of variety to the shows. But let's get this wrapped up. So,
Absolutely. So you can go ahead and go and follow us on Facebook. It is the Benchwarmers Podcast. That is the Benchwarmers Podcast on Facebook. Or you can go ahead and follow us over on Twitter at the Benchwarmer Pod, at the Benchwarmer Pod. Um, and then you can go ahead and follow me on Twitter at Up in Smoke. And Zach, you could take it over from here, buddy.
also a like and a follow would be great. It just
Absolutely. Don't
helps
forget
with
to
the
subscribe.
algorithm on YouTube. Yes, please don't forget to subscribe. So the starters may get the glory, but the bench warmers bring the fun. Tune in for another episode of the Benchwarmers podcast. Thanks for listening.